A beginning is a very delicate time. And you know something? We here at Americans Learn like to get our learn on. And there's one channel in particular that has been really leading the way in telling us stories about war heroes and movies and businesses. And that's the Fat Electrician, with his other YouTube channel, the Fat Files, as well. But the thing is, yes, he served in the military, like myself. And, you know, I served in the Marine Corps, Marines. That's the way you spell success. But he served in the Army. And the thing is, he goes by the nickname Fat Electrician. How to become an electrician? Trade school's a scam. So I know that Lauren checked out this video, but I did not. But when I came back, and which I have to say, thank you guys and gals for welcoming me back with open arms. Your messages of support have been very kind. Thank you. You have no idea. Thank you. But back on point, I think it's important for us to know, hey, Nick. hold on. Yo, hey, Nick. How'd you become an electrician there, buddy? You know, there you go. So grab yourself a tasty snack and a tasty beverage. And look, folks, I know I might get some shite for this, but look, please support the original content creator. Now, hear me out here. Support the original content creator. Check out our video too. But for all your favorite content creators, apparently what's going to count as a view now, according to the new YouTube rules, comment on the video, like the video, and I guess certain amount of watch time. I don't know. I've been hearing so many different things. Am I wrong? I hope so, because look, we all want to have fun here, but we here at Americans Learn like to pride ourselves in supporting the other content creators too, because, you know, putting the work in. So grab yourself a tasty snack, tasty beverage, and let's enjoy this video in a 3, 2, and an uno, and find out about the origin story. Let's do it, Nick.
It's always fun starting a YouTube video when you just know it's going to upset a lot of people.
Cool. All right.
Today we're talking about how to become an electrician and why any community college or tech school or trade school that tries to get you to go to their program for 2 years to get a certificate or a diploma so that you can become an electrician is more or less a scam.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
And just so we're clear, I am a journeyman electrician. I have been for the past 5 years. The 5 years before that, I was a helper and an apprentice. So I've been doing this for 10 years. Since starting this whole YouTube thing I got going on, I've gotten thousands of emails from high school kids that want to figure out how to become an electrician and veterans that are leaving the military that want to transition over into the electrical field. And this is everything I tell them and everything I wish somebody told me when I was first trying to figure out how to become an electrician. Because if you get on the internet and Google how to become an electrician, it's very confusing. There's like 1,000 different answers. Most of them are wrong, and half of them are trying to sell you something that you need to pay thousands of dollars to get that you don't actually need. And just so we're clear, I have no horse in this race, right? We're gonna play an ad here in a second. That's how I make my money. Once that ad plays, I've made all the money I'm gonna make off this video. Unlike most, if not all the other YouTube videos on this topic, I am not an instructor at a school that I'm trying to get you to go to. I don't have an online course that I've made to teach you how to do this job. I don't have anything to sell you. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. So let's play this ad so I can make my money, and then I'll tell you everything.
Nicholas,
Yes.
you've been so good this year. You should go buy yourself something nice.
These magic beans.
Yes.
Okay, what am
Good. Magic beans. I like this.
I supposed to buy?
Something to feed the whole family.
You want me to go buy a grill for Father's Day with magic beans so I can cook you food?
Yes.
Yes. Makes sense.
Fine.
6.5 hours later.
Careful. Careful.
Yes.
I'll write something on this.
I don't give a shit.
What the hell is this?
You told me to get something for Father's Day.
Is this thing gonna cook any meat?
It'll cook something.
All right, here's the deal. Super simple, straightforward
Good.
business model. You give them money, they turn around and make sure the data brokers on the internet aren't selling your personal information.
Good.
What does that even mean? Okay, here's the entire internet and every free service on the planet inside of a nutshell. Okay, there's a saying, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. What that means is pretty much anything on the internet that you use, that's a service, whether that be Google, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all of it. Okay, it's all an app. So one of two things is happening. They're either going to feed you ads, and that's how that company makes money since their service is free, or Or they're going to collect your personal information, then turn around and sell it to data brokers on the internet, and then they're going to turn around and sell it to whoever buys it, and next thing you know, you're getting 17,000 robocalls every single day. And that's where Delete Me comes in. They will look through all the major data brokers and find the ones that are selling your personal information and submit opt-out requests on your behalf, and then they are legally obligated to comply. And then they'll continue to monitor these data brokers, and if they get your information again, Delete Me will submit an opt-out request again. Basically, you're paying Delete Me to get rid of all the downsides of all of the free stuff on the internet, which I think is absolutely worth it. If you want to check them out, I'll have a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video.
Good stuff. And look, I have Delete Me. You know, long story short, I use his promo code. I thought it was funny. Then I stopped laughing when I saw my name all over the place. It works. So, you know, not a sponsor. It works. Okay. So there you go. Let's go, Ghostbusters.
All right, here's the deal. When people say, I want to be an electrician, what they're actually saying is, I want to be a journeyman or a master electrician. The only way to do that is to graduate from an apprenticeship program and then take the state exam and pass it. At that point, you become a journeyman. Then, typically, after you've worked as of 1 year for a journeyman, you are eligible to go and take another state exam that's harder to get your master's license. That's it. That's everything. Anything outside of that is unnecessary and probably a waste of money. There is no trade school or college program that you can go to for 2 years and get a diploma or a certificate and be qualified to take the state journeyman's exam. It's not allowed. This varies slightly from state to state, but I'm going to talk about the state of Iowa. It's very similar everywhere else. To graduate an apprenticeship program, you have to have 8,000 hours of on-the-job training, meaning you just have to go to work as an electrician's apprentice for 8,000 hours, which is about 4 years of working 40 hours a week. In addition to that, you need 800 hours of classroom time, and you have to pass a bunch of tests. Now, that classroom time varies from apprenticeship program to apprenticeship program, but typically it's either going to be night classes a couple nights a week for the 4 years, or in my particular case, my boss would just give us a week off and we would go to this school and we would have classes for 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and we did that 4 or 5 times a year for the 4 years that I was in. Those classes are paid for by the contractor. If you're in a union apprenticeship, the union has their own schools, and if you're in a non-union apprenticeship, typically the state runs an apprenticeship program. Your contractor pays the state to be able to send you to the school. People argue and get in a big pissing match about which one's better. At the end of the day, they both get you the exact same journeyman's license. But if you go to college first, you can get all the classroom stuff out of the way.
No. Listen, listen, I used my GI Bill. I went to college, but let me tell you something, guys. Don't go to college. Well, if you got a good scholarship or grant, all right, go ahead. But there's so many good people I know that are struggling with student debt right now. Don't do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that offends you. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Almost always.
I don't have student debt. Thank God.
No, that's not true. I think there's 2 or 3 states in the country where if you have a 2-year electrical diploma or certificate or whatever, you're allowed to not have to do the classroom portion of your apprenticeship, but you still have to do the 8,000 hours of work, meaning you're still going to be an apprentice for 4 years. And if you come in with that diploma or certificate or whatever the fuck it is, guess how much more money they're going to pay you as a first-year apprentice? 99 times out of 100, fucking nothing, okay? I went through this apprenticeship program with plenty of people that did this. We made the same exact amount of money. It does nothing.
My offer is this.
Nothing.
Nothing.
And that is why it's kind of a scam, right? When you go to, I don't know, nursing school, you graduate nursing school, you're automatically allowed to go take the state exam and get your RN license. You can't do that with an electrician. You go and you get their diploma that says you know what the fuck you're doing. Cool. You're still going to go be an apprentice for 4 years, and you paid for 2 years of schooling when your contractor would have paid for it for you. And that's if you're in one of the 3 states that allows that. Almost all the states still require you to go through the 800 hours of the apprenticeship classroom time. So you can literally go to college for 2 years, pay a bunch of money, get your little diploma. Congratulations, you're still sitting through 800 hours of classroom time for your apprenticeship. And anybody that says otherwise either A, fell for the scam and doesn't want to admit it, or B, they have some financial incentive, like they're an instructor at one of these schools and they want to keep their own gravy train running in so they don't have to go back and work in the field and they can sit in their nice office with air conditioning all day long. I'm going to say it again and slower so it really sinks in. Going to college to become an electrician is not necessary in any of the 50 states in the United States of America, and very, very rarely is it even beneficial. To put this into perspective,
Hey, I agree. I agree, man. There's too many people I know struggling with student debt. I'm sorry. I've seen a lot of suffering.
If we take two 18-year-old high school kids that just graduated, one of them chooses to go into a 2-year community college program to be an electrician, and the other one just calls every contractor in town, asks for a job as a helper, and starts working the next day. What's going to end up happening is that helper, within 6 months to a year, is going to be offered the opportunity to join the apprenticeship program, and he's going to start a year before the other guy. Assuming everything goes well, he is then going to turn out, become a journeyman electrician a year before the other guy, make more money faster, and not have $12,000 of student debt to pay off because he got a 2-year diploma. Buh! But that guy with the 2-year diploma is more likely to get hired as an apprentice in the first place. Buh!
No.
Maybe, but also not really. I know contractors that actively avoid hiring people that go through these programs because these programs tell these kids, oh, as soon as you graduate our program, you're going to be hired as a journeyman electrician and you're going to be making $35 an hour or $100,000 a year or whatever. And it's not true. So then they show up to work, they have a bad attitude, and they already think they know everything. They actively avoid hiring these people for that reason. Because again, in reality, these programs count for nothing. You can graduate this program. Congratulations. Great job. I hope you had fun. Hope it was worth it. You're still getting hired as a first-year apprentice, making first-year apprentice wages, period, end of story, 99 times out of 100. How do I know that? A, I'm a journeyman electrician. B, I was actually one of the guys in charge of hiring new apprentices, and I cannot tell you the number of times I have had kids come in that had some certificate or diploma from a college that thought that that made them a journeyman electrician. So when they come in and I tell them, no, you're not a journeyman electrician, you're not qualified to make $60 an hour and run your own job sites, they're extremely either disheartened or pissed off, and I don't blame them because they just spent 2 years of their life and a bunch of money getting told they're going to have a job paying $60 an hour, and in reality, they qualify for a job that pays them somewhere between $18 and $22 an hour as an entry-level apprentice. And in 47 out of the 50 states, you're still going to have to go to 800 hours of classroom training. Maybe you'll be relearning some stuff that you already learned at college, but that brings into question, why did you go off to college to learn it and pay money when you could have just learned it for free? Oh yeah, well, if you get that 2-year diploma, it can help you advance quicker and make more money.
No, it won't. I'm sorry. Look, for those who love higher education, the college system. Listen, I just seen how it's screwed over people. I'm sorry. I can't see any more suffering. College is just a way to chain people into debt slavery. I'm sorry.
Down the line when you want to get promotions. Again, no, not true. That's some bullshit they tell you at these schools to get you to spend money on their program, okay? Having a journeyman electrician's license is like the pinnacle of being a journeyman. Everything below that doesn't matter once you have that, okay? Saying that you're going to get preferential treatment because you have a certificate or something from a community college while also having a journeyman electrician's license is like saying if they're hiring 2 ER trauma doctors, they're both board certified ER trauma doctors with experience, but one of them also took a CPR class and knows how to do CPR, so we're gonna hire that one and give him the promotion. Not true. They're both fucking trauma doctors. They both know how to do fucking CPR, okay? Nobody gives a shit. You think when some company's hiring a master mechanic to run their auto shop and they have 2 master mechanics with experience that are applying, but one of them has a fucking certificate from Jiffy Lube that says he knows how to change oil, you think that's gonna tip the scales in his favor? No, they're both master mechanics. They know how to change fucking oil. You're just one of those crazy anti-college people. No, I'm not. I've been to college. I have multiple college degrees. I'm not anti-college if it's something you need to go to college for. What I am anti is telling these kids that they're going to be making $70 an hour and they're going to be a qualified journeyman so that you can milk money out of them and waste their fucking time. That's what I'm against. Well, if you get your diploma first, you at least won't have to be the new guy and do all the shitty work. Look at
No, everyone's always got to start at the bottom.
me. Look at me. Bullshit. When you are the new guy, you will be the fucking new guy, okay? I don't care what diploma or certificate you have. You are gonna be the guy that's digging the ditches. You are gonna be the guy whose job it is to hold the flashlight and shut the fuck up for the first couple years you are an apprentice electrician. That's just how this goes.
Left you a little gift in there. Not too hard, not too soft.
Just right. Hey, it's from Jarhead. M-A-R-N-E-S, that's the way you spell success. And he left you a gift. It's a perfect gift.
perfect.
And that's not even specific to being an electrician or the trades in general. That's pretty much every career path on the planet. Go watch fucking Scrubs or Grey's Anatomy or any of these other medical shows. All the new doctors have to do the scut work, all the work that none of the more experienced doctors want to do. They have to go do it, okay? This is every job on the planet. There is no school or college you can go to that's going to let you speed run being the new guy, so you might as well get over that right now. And for the love of God, if you went to one of these schools and got one of these diplomas or certificates, do yourself and everyone else a favor. Do not show up your first day of work thinking that any work is beneath you. Because at best, you're going to get bullied, and at worst, everybody's going to absolutely hate you. You're going to get teamed up with some old journeyman that's been doing this for 30 years. He grew up in a house that didn't even have electricity, and when he became an electrician, it was literally going around town lighting the fucking light poles in his town, okay? He's been an electrician since electricity became mainstream. And he is going to walk you over to a control cabinet that's got 12,000 wire terminations in it, open it up, look at you and say, okay, college boy, fucking show me what's up. And you're going to be standing there like, fuck, I don't know anything.
You know what all those wires do?
Yeah, of course. Yellow, see? The sun is yellow, it heats the ground. That's how they name stuff.
No, 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 no.
Is that car running?
And you know what?
Great show.
That's completely okay because you are a first-year apprentice. You just have to understand that you don't know anything so that you can learn. So hopefully by now you understand that if you want to be an electrician, you do not need to go to some college program for 2 years to get that diploma. So the next question is, how the fuck do you get into an apprenticeship? This is going to sound like some boomer back in my day bullshit, but it's literally what I did 10 years ago. If you decide you want to be an electrician, call every contractor in town, ask for a job as a helper, say you'd like to work your way into being an apprentice. You'll probably have a job by the end of today, if not by the end of the week. And if you could show up on time, have a good attitude, and not be completely stupid, you will have a leg up in the hiring process when that apprenticeship slot opens up because the company already knows you. They know you can show up on time. They know you work hard. They probably already like you. You're already one of the boys. In that situation, do you think your boss, when he's picking his next apprentice, is going to pick some dude that came from a community college that has expectations that he can't meet as an employer? Or do you think he's just going to give it to the guy that he already knows and trusts?
He's going to give it to the guy he knows and trusts.
Gives it to the guy he already knows and trusts. I'll give you the answer. The next question I get asked every single time, is this true for all other trade schools? I don't want to be an electrician. I want to be a welder or a plumber or whatever the fuck. An honest answer, I don't know. I'm not a journeyman in all other trades, so I can't tell you. My best piece of advice would be to get a hold of a journeyman that is in that trade and ask them. They'll give you a really good idea. How do you get a hold of one of these journeymen? Super simple. If you want to be a plumber, look up plumbing shops in your area, find the one that's got good reviews, call them and say, hey, I'm a senior in high school and I'm doing a high school project because I think I want to be a plumber. Would it be possible for me to interview one of your best journeymen or best foremen or best superintendents for 5 minutes so I could ask them some questions? They will almost guaranteed help you out, get you in contact with that person, and then you can have that conversation. It's that simple. Now, that being said, all the trades kind of work with each other. I've worked with plumbers, HVAC guys, welders. I've worked around and with everybody. Generally speaking, from what I've gathered, from what I've heard, again, not gospel, just what I've heard from other people, heating and cooling and HVAC are both great. You should probably go to college for them. I've heard that those programs can help you a ton. Same thing goes for automotive. Same thing goes for like tool and die and machining. Welding and plumbing, it's kind of what you want to do because those are very broad career paths. If you want to be like a residential plumber that's going and doing water lines and putting toilets in houses, school can help you with that. If you want to be a welder like in a factory on an assembly line, welding school can absolutely help you with that. But if you want to be the plumber, welder, pipe fitter dude that's making like $1,000 per diem and $150 an hour because he's got the special skills to do these high pressure welds and all this other crazy shit, the schools are not really going to help you with that. And I know this because my best friend, the best man in my wedding, is that guy. He is the one that gets paid a bunch of money per diem and gets paid a ton of money per hour and has to travel to go do specialty welds that only he's certified to do, and not many people can do what he does. And he went to one of these fancy welding schools right out of high school. He went to, I believe it's considered one of the top 2 welding schools in the entire country on the other side of the country from where he lived. He moved out there for 2 years, spent 40, 50 grand to go to this school, and he was told he was going to be hot shit. He was going to get a job paying $50 to $70 an hour right out of the gate. Came back home. The only people that would hire him were willing to pay him $18 an hour to do welds on a factory line. He worked that job for a couple of years, and then he decided he was going to apply to be an apprentice apprentice with the plumbing union so that he could get his journeyman's license, and guess what? He got hired as a first-year apprentice. Guess how much money he made? First-year apprentice pay, the same exact amount of money that people with literally no experience that just got out of high school were also making. He said that there was absolutely nothing he learned at this tech school that was not covered by his apprenticeship over the course of that 4 years, and if he could go back and do it all over again, he would have just joined the apprenticeship right out of high school, saved himself $40,000, $50,000 and 4 years of his time. But that's anecdotal evidence. I am not a journeyman welder or pipe fitter or plumber. I would double check with somebody that is. Now, the next question you're going to ask, because this also gets very confusing, is should I be union or non-union electrician? Full transparency, I was a union electrician my entire career. Why did I end up going that route? Very simply because they were the first company that hired me and they happened to be union. And this is going to piss off everybody because people have very, very strong opinions about whether or not you should or shouldn't be union. Whatever, you can have those opinions. I'm speaking to the 18-year-old kid that doesn't know anything. Deciding that right now is not like a life-altering fate decision, okay? I've met people that started in the non-union apprenticeship, got mad at their contractor, quit, and then joined the union apprenticeship and went on to become union journeymen. I know people that have flunked out of the union apprenticeship program, not because they were stupid or dumb or couldn't hack it, but because they had some own personal life issues going on and they ended up losing their job in the union. They went to a non-union shop, continued their apprenticeship, and they became a non-union journeyman. I've met shitty union electricians that I wouldn't trust to wire my house, and I've met union electricians that I've seen frequently have to correct electrical engineers, and they're absolutely brilliant, and I can say the same exact thing about non-union shops. Being union or non-union is not going to be the determining factor on whether or not you're going to be a good electrician. You are that determining factor.
Exactly.
You talking to me?
Yep.
You talking to me?
The only caveat I'll throw in is if you join the union apprenticeship with a union contractor, it's going to be squared away. You're going to have a very clear path of how to get your journeyman's license, and you will have the same exact thing with, I hope, the majority and the significant amount of non-union shops. However, because non-union shops are less regulated, there is the potential for some contractors to be shitty and not get you the right training with the state accredited program in a timely fashion. So if you're going non-union, which is completely fine, just make sure it's with a good non-union contractor that's going to get you going to the actual state accredited apprenticeship classes. Again, full transparency, I didn't want to make this video. It's not my normal jam. It's not some funny internet business, and it's not some history with a war hero or whatever. That's usually what I do here on YouTube. But I did want to answer these kids' questions. So originally, I just made a social media post over on X or Twitter or whatever the fuck you want to call it, explaining this, and the amount of backlash I got from people that have no idea what the fuck they're talking about was insane. So we're just going to go over and read some of the tweets, and we'll actually see how correct they are. Again, just for context, my tweet essentially said that trade schools to become an electrician are essentially a scam because they're not required in any of the 50 states, and you can just get paid while you learn and have your contractor pay for your actual in-classroom experience.
Pretty nice tweet on Easy Street.
And you should just attempt to do that instead. And here are some of the comments that I received. Quote, fuck basic training, let's just grab a rifle and head off to war. No, fuckhead, the apprenticeship is the basic training. Do you understand that? Going to a tech school for 2 years before entering your apprenticeship is akin to going to a community college for 2 years to get a certificate or diploma in being a soldier before you ship off to basic training. It's fucking dumb and unneeded. From Anonymous, buddy, it's not about what you learn. If two people apply for a job and one can show a degree and the other can't, guess who gets the job? You live in a country where people are showing college degrees to flip burgers at fucking McDonald's.
Man, Twitter's a cesspool. Why would you even post on Twitter?
Saying it's not about what you learn in reference to going to college to get an education is the dumbest fucking thing I have ever heard in my entire life. And this attitude of, it doesn't matter if I learn anything as long as I've got a piece of paper that says I know something, is the reason that nobody gives a fuck about college degrees in the trades in the first place. Congratulations, you're part of the problem.
I'm an idiot!
Makes sense.
The problem with going down this path is a lot of people can't afford to do an unpaid apprenticeship. It's not an unpaid apprenticeship. There is no such thing as an unpaid trades apprenticeship. It doesn't fucking exist. It might have back in the fucking 1800s, but it doesn't right now, okay? I can't speak for every local or every sector of the country, but in Iowa, if you were a first-year apprentice in a smaller town that's the lower paid, our first-year apprentices are making like, I believe, $20 an hour day one with full healthcare coverage, and retirement benefits. It's not an unpaid apprenticeship. And then every year of the 4-year apprenticeship that you complete, you get a raise. And then once you get your journeyman's license, you get a big raise and you're making like $60 an hour. Quote, or hear me out, you attend and graduate your chosen trade and then enter at top position with top pay. What a dumbass take. No!
No, hold on, wait. I want to see what he writes. No, F stink, you don't. You don't graduate at tech school and get a journeyman's license. You have to go through a 4-year apprenticeship regardless. He's right.
Graduate your chosen trade and then enter at top position with top pay. What a dumbass take. No, fuck stick, that's not how that works. You are not going to graduate from a community college and get a journeyman's license and get top pay or anything else. You are qualified to be a first-year apprentice, and that's fucking it. You will get paid first apprenticeship wages just like everybody else that has no experience whatsoever. Shut up. This is why I'm making this video, because people that know absolutely fucking nothing about this have extremely strong opinions because they've been just from kindergarten through 12th grade beaten into their fucking head that if they don't go to some type of school, they're not gonna make a bunch of money. It's not true. It's complete fucking bullshit. And tech schools are sued and go bankrupt and go out of business all the fucking time because they always get in trouble for fraud because they tell these kids, come here, get our certificate, you're going to be qualified to make $100,000 a year, and it very rarely, if ever, fucking happens. I have no reason to lie to you about this, okay? I volunteered to be on the hiring committee for my union because I like helping kids. I loved training apprentices. I would go back to doing it in a heartbeat if this YouTube thing dries up. So again,
Which, by the way, like, comment, and share the video. Support the original content creator. Give us some love, too, because YouTube's getting crazy right now. I don't know why.
So we're on the same page. Trade school, tech school, some program at a community college that gives you a certificate or a diploma to be an electrician is not required in any state in the United States of America, and rarely is it helpful. It's more often than not a humongous waste of both your time and your money.
I'm trying to help you.
The only people that I would recommend them to are high school kids that are graduating and know they want to go into trades, but they also want to go get a college experience and party and drink with their friends, and they want to learn something applicable to that, and they just have an understanding of they're not going to be hot shit just because they graduated. Good, great option. If you want to go blow 12 grand,
Don't blow 12 grand. Don't do it. Don't go.
memories, have the time of your life. Awesome. Again, same thing with military veterans. You've been in the military for 4, 6, 8, 10 years, and you have a GI Bill that's going to pay for everything, and you just want to go off for a couple of years and party and drink and have fun. A great purpose for that too. Just please, for your own good, do not let them convince you that you are going to get this diploma or certificate after 2 years of a community college and you're going to come out making $100,000 a year and that you know as much as a journeyman electrician, because neither of those things are true.
And that's all I have to say about that.
So yeah, sorry this wasn't a normal Fat Electrician or Fat Files video. This is kind of a one-off. I'll get back to my normal content as soon as possible. I've just had thousands of people ask me this question, and I'm in a unique position with this platform to get this answer out to as many people as possible.
I got a couple of questions. I do. So hold on. I got a couple of questions. So I guess for Nick, obviously, if there's ever a chance, maybe we would like to hear a little bit more about your journey, but I'm going to do a little twisty twist. This is a direct challenge. Wop, pop, pop, pop. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that to Nick, but, you know, wop, 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 wop. A duel, a challenge, a gauntlet has been dropped. Without getting in trouble, tell us some of your craziest electric adventure stories. Like, you were on a job site and you're like, oh my God, people will die here. And to quote an infamous anime line, anime, that's right. People die if they get killed. No, let's drop that gauntlet. This is Fat Electrician, my craziest on-site job adventure ever. Like, there were so many wires around, all right? Now, I don't know any technical terms because I'm not an electrician, but let's just say one day Nick opened up a box, like, you know, circuit, and there's like all these lines there, and if he cut something wrong or did something wrong, kaboom! Let's hear. If you got one of those kind of stories, Nick, let's go hear it. Until then, everyone, support the original content creator. Give Americans Learn some love. I guess YouTube's telling you got to comment and like the video and watch the video for a certain amount of time so you can get the view counted. Do that and check out our Discord, check out our Patreon, and hey, protect yourselves at all time. While we're not a sponsor, again, they're not a sponsor of us. Delete Me does help. So there you go. All the love to you. And stay beautiful, shall you? Yes, do that.